In Tomb Raider, Lara Croft is introduced as a fiercely independent young woman struggling to survive in London several years after the mysterious disappearance of her father, Richard Croft. Although Richard was a wealthy businessman and adventurer, Lara refuses to officially declare him dead because she still believes he might be alive somewhere. As a result, she rejects the enormous inheritance left behind by her family and instead chooses to live a simple life as a bike courier while barely earning enough money to pay rent. Lara is stubborn, adventurous, intelligent, and determined to make her own path without relying on the Croft fortune. She spends her free time training in boxing and martial arts, constantly trying to prove herself physically and emotionally. Despite her tough personality, Lara secretly struggles with loneliness and unresolved grief over her father's disappearance. During a dangerous bicycle race called a fox hunt, she risks her life for prize money but ends up getting arrested after crashing into a police car. Her guardian and family associate, Anna Miller, pays her bail and again pressures Lara to sign documents declaring Richard legally dead. Anna explains that if Lara refuses, the Croft estate and business empire could collapse financially. However, Lara cannot bring herself to abandon hope that her father is still alive. When Lara finally visits Croft Manor to review the inheritance papers, she discovers a hidden Japanese puzzle box left behind by Richard. Inside the box is a secret message and a recorded video from her father. In the video, Richard reveals that he spent years researching ancient myths and supernatural legends after the death of Lara's mother. His obsession eventually focused on Himiko, the legendary queen of Yamatai, who was believed to possess terrifying powers capable of spreading death with a single touch. According to legend, Himiko was buried alive on a remote island hidden within the dangerous Devil Sea near Japan. Richard warns Lara that his research must be destroyed immediately because the wrong people could use Himiko's power for catastrophic purposes. Instead of burning the research, Lara becomes fascinated by the mystery. She studies Richard's journals and learns that he disappeared while searching for Yamatai. Believing her father may still be alive, Lara decides to continue his mission and discover the truth herself. Her investigation leads her to Hong Kong, where she searches for Lu Ran, the son of the captain who once helped Richard travel toward the island. Lu Ran initially refuses to help because his own father disappeared during the same expedition years earlier. He is bitter, cynical, and convinced that the mission only leads to death. However, Lara offers him money and convinces him to guide her across the sea. Together they board Lu Ran's old fishing boat, the Endurance, and sail into the Devil Sea using the coordinates hidden in Richard's notes. During the dangerous journey, Lara and Lu Ran slowly begin trusting each other. Lara shows determination and courage despite her inexperience, while Lu Ran reveals the pain he still carries over losing his father. As they approach Yamatai, a violent storm destroys their boat, throwing Lara into the ocean. She nearly drowns before washing ashore alone on the mysterious island. Soon after arriving, Lara is captured by armed mercenaries working for a secret organization called Trinity. The group is led by Matthias Vogel, a ruthless archaeologist who has spent years trapped on Yamatai searching for Himiko's tomb. Vogel explains that Trinity wants to harness Himiko's supposed supernatural power to control death itself. He reveals that Richard Croft once joined the expedition but eventually opposed Trinity's goals and disappeared. Vogel forces Lara to help decipher clues left behind by her father, believing she can lead him to the tomb. While imprisoned, Lara manages to escape and flees through the dangerous wilderness of Yamatai. The island is filled with ancient ruins, deadly traps, waterfalls, caves, and abandoned wreckage from countless ships destroyed by the Devil Sea. Lara survives using her intelligence, physical strength, and growing survival instincts. She leaps across collapsing structures, avoids armed soldiers, and suffers painful injuries while trying to stay alive. During one intense moment, she falls onto a sharp metal spike and must painfully treat the wound herself, marking the beginning of her transformation into the hardened adventurer she is destined to become. As Lara explores deeper into the island, she eventually discovers that Richard Croft is still alive. He has been hiding in the wilderness for years after sabotaging Trinity's mission. Richard reveals that Himiko's power is not mystical magic but an ancient deadly disease carried within her body. Fearing Trinity would unleash the infection upon the world, Richard chose to remain stranded on the island to guard the tomb and prevent anyone from opening it. Although overjoyed to reunite with his daughter, Richard is horrified that Lara followed him to Yamatai because it places both of them in terrible danger. Father and daughter reconnect emotionally while surviving together in the harsh environment. Richard teaches Lara more about the island and explains how deeply guilt consumed him after abandoning her. Lara, however, refuses to give up on him and insists they can still escape together. Their reunion strengthens Lara emotionally and helps her finally understand the responsibilities and courage her father always possessed. Meanwhile, Vogel and Trinity continue hunting them across the island. Lara and Richard realize that if Trinity reaches Himiko's tomb, millions of lives could be at risk. Determined to stop them, Lara embraces her father's adventurous spirit and prepares to confront Vogel directly. By this point, she has evolved from a confused young woman avoiding responsibility into a fearless survivor capable of facing impossible dangers. The first half of the film focuses on Lara's emotional journey from grief and uncertainty toward confidence, resilience, and the beginning of her transformation into the legendary Tomb Raider. Lara Croft and Lu Ran continue their dangerous journey toward the mysterious island of Yamatai after discovering clues left behind by Lara's missing father, Richard Croft. During the voyage across the Devil Sea, Lara learns more about her father's obsession with the legend of Queen Himiko, the mythical ruler believed to possess deadly supernatural powers. Richard's research suggests that Himiko's tomb contains an ancient force capable of mass destruction, and he feared a secret organization called Trinity wanted to use it as a weapon. Despite the terrifying stories, Lara remains determined to discover the truth and find out what happened to her father. As their boat approaches Yamatai, they are caught in a violent storm that destroys the vessel. Lara is separated from Lu Ren and washes ashore unconscious on the island. When she wakes up, she finds herself captured by Matthias Vogel, the ruthless leader of a Trinity expedition that has been stranded on Yamatai for years. Vogel reveals that he knew Richard Croft and claims he killed him after Richard refused to cooperate with Trinity's mission. Vogel has spent 7 years searching for Himiko's tomb but has failed to unlock its secrets. When he discovers that Lara possesses Richard's research and knowledge, he forces her to help locate the entrance to the tomb. Lara soon learns the horrifying truth about the island. Trinity has enslaved shipwreck survivors and smugglers, forcing them to excavate ancient ruins while searching for Himiko. Many people have died under Vogel's brutal leadership, including Lu Ren's father. Consumed by anger and guilt, Lara blames herself for bringing Lu Ren into danger, but both of them remain determined to survive. During an escape attempt, Lara flees into the wilderness and is chased by armed mercenaries through forests, rivers, and cliffs. She suffers severe injuries but manages to survive using her intelligence and physical endurance. While wandering through the island, exhausted and wounded, Lara suddenly encounters a mysterious figure who turns out to be Richard Croft himself. Richard is alive and has been hiding on Yamatai for years. Overjoyed and emotional, Lara reunites with her father after believing him dead for so long. Richard explains that he never intended to abandon her but chose to remain trapped on the island to prevent Trinity from opening Himiko's tomb. He reveals that Himiko's power is not supernatural magic but an ancient deadly disease carried within her body. Himiko willingly sealed herself inside the tomb centuries earlier to stop the infection from spreading across the world. Richard feared that if Trinity removed her remains, the plague could escape and cause global catastrophe. Although Lara is relieved to have found her father, she becomes frustrated when she realizes he wanted her to destroy all his research rather than search for him. Richard believes Lara accidentally led Trinity directly to the tomb. However, Lara refuses to give up and insists they can still stop Vogel together. Their reunion becomes emotionally powerful as father and daughter finally confront years of pain, loneliness, and misunderstanding. Richard realizes that Lara has grown into a brave and capable woman, while Lara finally understands the sacrifices her father made to protect humanity. Meanwhile, Vogel's men discover the hidden entrance to Himiko's tomb using Richard's clues. Forced at gunpoint, Lara and Richard accompany Trinity into the underground ruins. The tomb is filled with deadly traps and ancient puzzles known as the Ordeals of Himiko. To proceed deeper into the tomb, the group must cross dangerous collapsing bridges, solve color-coded puzzles, and survive hidden mechanisms designed to keep intruders away. During one deadly challenge, the floor beneath them collapses piece by piece, nearly killing everyone. Lara uses her intelligence to solve the ancient puzzle just in time, proving herself resourceful and fearless under pressure. As they descend further underground, they discover the remains of hundreds of Himiko's handmaidens who sacrificed themselves to protect their queen in the afterlife. The terrifying atmosphere convinces many of Trinity's men that they are dealing with supernatural forces. However, Richard continues warning Vogel that opening the tomb will unleash disaster. Vogel ignores him completely because he is desperate to return home after spending years trapped on the island. Believing the tomb contains a powerful weapon Trinity can control, Vogel finally opens Himiko's coffin. Inside, they discover the preserved corpse of an elderly woman. At first, Vogel mocks the legend, believing Himiko was nothing more than an ordinary queen. But Lara realizes the truth after studying the symbols and clues around the chamber. Himiko was not evil at all. She voluntarily imprisoned herself because she carried a deadly disease that spread through physical contact. The so-called curse was actually a highly contagious infection capable of killing entire populations. Himiko sacrificed her freedom and life to protect the world from the plague within her body. Vogel refuses to listen and decides to cut a sample from Himiko's corpse to deliver to Trinity. The moment he touches the infected remains, the disease rapidly spreads through his body, horrifying everyone present. Chaos erupts inside the tomb as infected soldiers begin dying violently. During the confusion, Richard becomes infected while helping Lara escape. Realizing there is no cure, he makes the heartbreaking decision to sacrifice himself to stop the plague from spreading any further. He stays behind in the collapsing tomb while ordering Lara to chase Vogel and escape the island. Before parting, Richard tells Lara how proud he is of her and reminds her that she no longer needs him because she is strong enough to continue on her own. Devastated but determined, Lara pursues Vogel through the crumbling ruins. Vogel attempts to escape the island with the infected remains, believing Trinity can still use them as a weapon. Lara confronts him in a brutal fight near the edge of a cliff. During the struggle, Vogel falls to his death while still infected, ensuring the disease will never leave Yamatai. Lara narrowly survives as the tomb collapses around her. After escaping the island with Lu Ren and the remaining survivors, Lara returns to London forever changed by her experiences. She officially takes control of the Croft inheritance and begins investigating Trinity further after realizing how powerful and widespread the organization truly is. Lara also starts suspecting that people close to her, including Anna Miller, may secretly be connected to Trinity. Determined to continue her father's mission, Lara embraces her destiny as an adventurer and protector against dangerous hidden forces. In the final scenes, Lara visits the pawn shop where she previously sold her father's amulet. This time, she purchases 2 pistols, symbolizing her transformation into the legendary Tomb Raider. No longer the lost and uncertain girl from the beginning of the story, Lara has become stronger, fearless, and fully prepared for the dangerous adventures waiting ahead. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.